wanted to lead off with a small little lesson here on how to quickly convert some units. In a physics class, we're usually worried about the Mks system. The M stands for meters, the K for kilograms, the S for seconds. These are all SI base units, International System. Notice that the kilogram is the base system in the SI system and not the gram. The gram is kind of small for most purposes. When you're converting units, you're usually going to these types of base units. Now, the kilogram is not a general metric base unit because it's the kilogram and not the gram. So I'm not going to be converting to that, but I'm going to be converting some other basic units. I've made a little table over here of the different prefixes and the mathematical powers that are associated with those. So I've went small to large here. Small at the top with pico. You can have picograms, picometers, whatever. And a pico is equal to E, which stands for times 10 to the minus 12th. So a picogram is 1 times 10 to the minus 12 grams, or 1 trillionth of a gram. And I've listed nano, micro, milli, all the way through tera, tera being a trillion of whatever unit that we have. Trillion grams, meters, whatever. So, if you understand the relationship between the prefix and the power, then converting to MKS units is pretty simple. Here I have an example of 130 micrometers, and in 130 micrometers, if I want to convert that to meters, the M part, well, all I have to do is look at the number 130, and so I'll type 130 here. The first part of the unit tells me the prefix, and the second part tells me the actual unit or quantity that we're in. So this is meters, and this is micro, and a micro is times 10 to the minus 6. So this is 130 times 10 to the minus 6 meters. Done. Piece of cake. Here I have a 350 microfarad capacitor. So how do you convert that? Well, 350 micro is E minus 6, and it's farads. So that's how many farads there are. You can't do a lot of calculations without those. Let me convert that to a more readable font there for you. So 350 E minus 6 farads. How about 655 nanometers? Well, all you have to do is write down 655 or type it into your calculator. What's a nano? Well, a nano is E to the minus 9th meters. Done. 33 kiloseconds. Well, it'll be 33. What's a kilo? It's E to the 3, so E3 seconds. Done. A terabyte. Well, you've got 12. What's a tera? E12. So E12 bytes. Done. And we now have everything converted into base units. So all you got to do is take the number, apply the prefix, and you're done. Now, if you're converting to other types of units, well, that's where things get a little bit on the tricky side. And I'm going to change some settings around here to show you those. So how do we convert to other units? Let's say I wanted 350 megagrams to kilograms. Well, you still start off with 350, and you have megagrams, so that's E6, and you're converting to kilograms. So what I do is I just imagine myself dividing, and this is no different than your standard conversion with parenthesis, line, parentheses, and a kilogram is 1 E3. So all we're doing is we're taking 350 E6 dividing by 1,000, and you're going to get 350 E3 kilograms, which makes sense. You've got kilo here, mega here. There's 1,000 kilograms in a megagram, so I've got 350,000 kilograms in 350 megagrams. 350,000, yeah. So same conversions work all the time. So on this next one here, I have 655 nanograms. Well, a nano is E minus 9. And you simply divide that by pico, which is E minus 12. So 1 E minus 12. And, of course, they get larger. And so your answer here is you get 655 E3. So there's 655,000 nanograms in a picogram. Seems pretty simple, correct? Next one then would be 33 kilograms, so 33 E3 for kilo. divide by pico is 1e 12 minus 12 equals, and so kilograms to picograms. So you've got 3, 6, 9, 12. So that should be 1e 15 micrograms. And I can't make my micro, so I'm just going to say UG for the U being micro. And now we go to our last one. We have 12 teragrams. So we have 12. A tera is E12. And we're dividing by megagrams. So a megagram is 1e6. And that's pretty simple. You've got E12 divided by E6. So, I mean, all I'm doing is taking these numbers out in front and dropping them down, and I'm just dividing the E parts. So 12 divided by 6. Remember, these are zeros. So you basically got a trillion divided by a million, and that leaves you with E6. 12E6, and our unit then is the megagram. Okay? Don't think you're simply taking 12 divided by 6 and thinking that's 2. You're thinking about powers of, and so really what you're doing is you're subtracting off zeros. So these are powers, these are exponents. So 12 minus 6 is 6. 3 minus negative 12 is 15. Negative 9 minus negative 12 is 3, because minus a negative is a positive. 6 minus 3 is 3. So you're really subtracting powers. These are exponents, not just pure numbers. Again, this is no different than the parenthesis, line parenthesis method that I've shown you before. I mean, if we were going to do this again, and I'll just do this last example again here in pen. I'm going to be using my mouse to do this. But if we had 12, we've got teragrams. We'd set up a conversion factor. And teragrams would be at the bottom. It should be a capital T, not a lowercase t like I wrote there. And I want to go to megagrams. Now we just have to realize how many, well, first of all, what's the bigger unit? Well, teragram is a bigger unit. And how many megagrams are in a teragram? Well, there's a million megagrams, because the difference here is 12 minus 6. So 1e6 megagrams in this. And you see what this quickly becomes. This quickly becomes 12 times 1e minus 6, and that's what gives you your 12e6. But again, it's just division like this. You don't have to do this very much. This is the much more important part of that, is being able to quickly convert. All right, thank you for your time, and have a good first year.